The Sony E-mount system is saturated with lens options, but Viltrox just came out with one that's the first of its kind, and honestly, it's one that I've waited years for someone to make. What's up guys, my name's Kyle, and in this video we're going to be talking about Viltrox's new full-frame autofocus pancake lens. So this is their new 28mm f4.5 constant aperture chip lens. This thing started as an Indiegogo campaign and it raked in a whopping $350,000 in funding. It's marketed as the thinnest full-frame autofocus pancake lens ever made, and despite that they were able to include features like a built-in lens cover and a USB-C port for firmware updates. So obviously the biggest selling point for this lens is its size. So before we get into image quality or autofocus performance, I want to just talk about how insane it is to actually use this lens on a daily basis. The biggest drawback of full-frame cameras is that their lenses are way bigger and much more expensive than their APS-C counterparts. I try to bring my camera with me everywhere I go. I love documenting my life and making videos that I can look back at to remember the cool things I've done and special moments that I've had. But having to use a big, expensive full-frame lens has definitely deterred me from doing so in the past. So having a tiny little lens like this that has reliable autofocus and fits on a full-frame sensor is game-changing for me. And I'll tell you right now, the benefits of the size of this thing far outweigh any of its shortcomings. With that said, let's get into it. This lens is only 15mm long. To give you a visual, it's about the same height as my lens cap and 2 filters stacked together. It's made mainly of plastic, but it does have a metal lens mount, which is pretty nice. And at 60 grams, it weighs less than the FZ100 battery. The front element is this tiny little thing that's apparently has a waterproof coating on it, although I don't really get what that does because the water can just go around the lens. I don't know. The only physical control on the lens is this switch to open and close the front lens cover, and I gotta say it's very satisfying to mess with. It's like a little fidget toy. It looks and feels like one of those DIY dispo lenses where people just take a lens cover and then take the lens out of a disposable camera and just stick it into the middle, except this one has autofocus. And to be honest, I'm so impressed that this thing can do smooth, continuous autofocus. It uses Viltrox's new voice coil focusing motor, which is similar to what Tamron's been using in their new VXD lenses, like the one I talked about in this video. The autofocus for photography is great. It's quick and accurate, which to be fair is pretty expected considering it's an f4.5 aperture, but I thought that would be where the good autofocus performance ends. Some older lenses I've used did really well for photos, but really struggled when it came to continuous video autofocusing. And I've since learned that that's because they used to use stepping motors, but luckily this new VCM is very smooth. It transitions and tracks the subject pretty well, but it can lag a bit if you move too fast. The focus breathing is probably the worst thing about this lens. Any sort of significant rack focus will change your entire frame. Like watch. Like, look how much it's moving. Everything's big. Now it's small. Another problem I had with it was that the minimum focus is pretty freaking far. At 12.6 inches, the cards in my hand were just barely inside that minimum focusing distance. So you can see it's constantly hunting for focus and the edges are going crazy. Just stay out of the minimum focusing distance. I'm assuming most of the videos that will be taken with this lens are probably going to be using audio from the onboard mics or just like a little shotgun on top. I figured I'd test if you could hear the autofocusing motor with that audio. So you can definitely hear the motors working, but honestly, everybody knows the visuals of a video are much more important than the audio. Speaking of, image quality is pretty good. I'd never use it for a professional shoot, but it's more than good enough for a casual situation. There are 6 different lens elements, 2 aspherical and 2 low dispersion. Sharpness is great in the center on my 24 megapixel A7C, but tapers off towards the edges, which I've never personally had an issue with. Like, most of my subjects are going to be in the center of the frame, not way out here. So I'm totally fine with that. There's definitely some visible vignetting, but that can be fixed in post. I didn't notice any distortion in my testing, and the amount of background separation was actually surprising. The combination of the large minimum focusing distance, the wide focal length, and the small maximum aperture don't scream bokeh, but there's definitely more separation with this than you'd get naturally from your phone or a digicam. Here's a comparison to my Tamron 20-40 at 28 f2.8, and the difference is pretty obvious. There's much more blur on the 2.5 side than there is on the 4.5 side. But when you stop down to f4.5, it actually looks like the Viltrox is a little brighter and has better bokeh. So for what it is and how much it costs, this lens performs surprisingly well. With that being said, there are some more drawbacks that I haven't mentioned just yet. It is a fixed f4.5 aperture, which does limit your flexibility a little bit. There's no manual focus ring, and it's not weather sealed. I get that this is an externally focusing system, but I cannot for the life of me understand why lens manufacturers don't just put a rubber gasket around the mounting ring. I guess in this case they're using it for a USB-C port, but there are so many lenses out there who don't use this space and they could just be helping protect the camera body. It doesn't make sense to me. I've been waiting for a lens like this since I switched to full frame Sony, and this thing did not disappoint. Any relevant competitor to this thing is either twice as expensive, twice the size, or is only manual focus. So this lens scratches that little itch that I still had. Lenses like these you don't buy for the insanely fast autofocus or super clear image quality. You get them because it gets rid of an excuse for you not to go out and shoot. It lets you bring your camera everywhere and makes taking pictures and getting videos a little less serious and a little more fun, which is why I think everybody should own a lens like this. However, if you make content, this is not the lens for you. I definitely recommend checking out this video where I talk about the lens that I think is perfect for every YouTube studio, or you can check out this one. This is what YouTube thinks you would like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.